Oh, hi, Uncle David, and all my cousins, and all your children, who I probably don't know many of them, but hi to everyone and all the family there. I just want to share my love and my condolences for the loss of Aunty Sharon. She was a wonderful auntie. Um, I was trying to think of things when I was growing up, and one thing I want to share with you is I must have been about 8 or 9. I was at Pura Primary School, and this is when Uncle David and Aunty Sharon were living in Kotuku Street or Crescent in Elston. Anyway, I went to a friend of mine's house, and then I thought, oh, I'm going to walk down to see Aunty Sharon and Uncle David. I think Uncle David was at work, but Aunty Sharon was at home. Anyway, I walked down there and knocked on the door, and Aunty Sharon was a bit surprised to see me. I didn't realise now that I'm a lot older, I realise it's because I was so young and I was traipsing around all around Poirua. Because I said, talk to her for a bit. She was asking how I got there, and because she was quite concerned. I was only like 8 or 9 at the time. Anyway, I always remembered that. And then she said, how are you getting home? And I said, I'm just going to walk home. And for those of you that know where Kotuku Crescent is, it's a long way from the park, especially if you're like 8. So I think Auntie was a bit worried, and then I said, no, I'll be okay. And then off I did. I walked home, and I don't know how long it took for me to get back there, but I got home fine. It was a lot different back then, a lot safer too back then. So anyway, she'd always shown care and concern for all of us, all of her nephews and nieces, without a doubt. And that's been that way throughout her whole life. Throughout my whole life, interacting with Auntie. She always made you feel welcome. Auntie's got a beautiful smile. She's got the biggest smile in the whole world when she laughs and grins. And in fact, Doddles has got the same smile as her mum. I always remember when we were growing up, and because Doddles was like the youngest one hanging around us at the time for the older cousins, but she was always smiling, Doddles, and she's just like her mother. Yeah, so I'm glad I got back to see Aunty Sharon last year in December when my son and I came back to New Zealand to go and see Mum, or your Auntie Allies, because she's getting on as well. And so Richard picked us up from the airport, and we stopped off to see Aunty Sharon, and it was good to see her and good to see Uncle David, and saw Doddles as well. And although we weren't there very long, I was glad to see her because for the last 20 years I've been living all around the world. So it was kind of good to get back home and to see her and Uncle David. I'd known that Auntie was quite sick, and it wasn't that she was sick, and it was a pretty serious sickness. So I'm glad I got to see her. I called her up a couple of weeks ago and talked to Auntie back then. It's just, she's a wonderful auntie, and she's going to be missed. And all I want to say is I love you all, and thank you for everything. Yeah, thank you for everything for growing up as a child. Anyway, just reflecting on many, many years ago. But love you all. Love you very much, Uncle Dave, and Doddles and Deanne and Cash and Maya, Mizpah and Sharon. Love you all, and hopefully through the next few days you'll get through these challenges, knowing that your mum has you in her heart. And love you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
I'm Daryl, number 2 in the long list of about 35 of us. Just want to send a message to my Uncle David, my cousins Doddles and Deanne and Shem and Caslow and Mizpah and Sharon, and of course all of your partners and mukus who are obviously going to be horrendously upset over this. I mean, I know how it hit us with Nanny, and now you've got mukus who are looking to my auntie in that same role, and it really hurts when you've got a woman like my auntie, who was just so kind and loving and an absolute example of the best human that there could be on this earth. I'd never recall my auntie ever speaking ill or negative of anyone, except on the odd occasion away from earshot where someone was in some way criticising or attacking our family, and whether they're right or wrong, it doesn't matter. She didn't like it. So I would say that the words she used against people that were against our family were probably on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 compared to what I would say. So there you go. I remember the first thing that comes to mind for me, and I guess why we're doing this video with the older cousins, is because we probably have a different perspective to auntie and uncle to many of you. I remember going up to Gillett Street on many occasions, and at Uncle Wayne's house in Ngāti Street, and Uncle David playing softball with me. I think I was 8 or 9, but he basically taught me how to catch a ball because he threw it as hard as he could throw it, and it was hard, and I had to catch it. As a result, I went back to school and I could catch anything thrown at me, and everyone thought I was really, really cool. So thanks, Uncle. But we spend a lot of time with Uncle and Auntie, all our uncles and aunties. I hope that all the mukus watching this are getting the same love that we got from our aunties and uncles. I'm sure you are. With my auntie, I love my genealogy. I love our history of our whānau. I've spent many hours talking to Auntie, her sharing stories with me. Just the stories that we've got of our family. I have our genealogy going back. I've forgotten how many years it's back before the year 1000. And that's a result of the LDS Family Search website, is where I've got most of my information from. And Auntie has helped me with that so many times. I guess in saying some final words, I've sought throughout my life, whether it's been offered to me or I've asked for it, Auntie and Uncle have, especially Auntie, have been a point of contact for me to seek advice, just life, and she's always been there. She's always had the advice that Nanny would have probably given me, and dare I say it, probably in a softer way that Nanny would have given it to me. So she's going to be missed. Yeah. Keep it together. So I'm sorry we can't be up there. My brother Dean will be there to represent the family, and I'm sure he'll share some stories.
I te whae kiki e moi mai rā I te rangi Māori ai. I love you, Auntie.
Kia ora e te whānau. Really sorry to hear of the passing of Aunty Sharon. Such a special, loved and respected lady. Aunty Sharon always made me and all 6 of mine and Daryl's children feel welcomed and special. She made time for everyone. I specifically remember visiting a house in Manurewa that had a big swimming pool down the bottom, and so many other memories of support from Aunty Sharon. I'm really sorry that we can't make it up there to be with you, but sending huge hugs and thinking of you all. Love and prayers from us. Ka kite.
Hi, Uncle David, my beautiful cousins and all your families. I just wanted to send all my love to you at this really sad time. I know you must all be hurting quite deeply. I'm sorry that we can't be there with you today. Well, what can you say about Aunty Sharon? She was such a precious person in our family. You know, she just always loved you so deeply, supported you in everything you said and did, and always made everyone feel welcome, loved and special. Whenever we came to her at Uncle's home, she opened her heart to us, and that is something I will always remember. She carried such a beautiful family legacy, one that reminds me so much of Nanny, and one we all admire. Uncle David, I know at this time it's an incredibly tough time for you, and I know the past 2 years haven't been easy. I also know your family, your beautiful family, will wrap their arms around you and carry you through this. Please know that we're all thinking of you, sending our love and holding you in our hearts. We'll come over in the next month to see you all and share that love in person. I love you all so much.
Just a short message to Uncle David with regards to Aunty Sharon. I first met Aunty Sharon probably 33 years ago, and I've always found her to be a very lovely and enjoyable person to be around. It's terribly sad what's come about recently, and I'd just like to send our condolences and our love to Uncle David and all the family. Thank you.
Kia ora family, just doing a video for my Aunty Sharon and Uncle David. Aunty Sharon was a auntie that we pretty much grew up with. My older cousins will know that. When we'd be in Purero or up in Nuhaka, Mahia. Aunty Sharon and Uncle David were always there. I was at her wedding. When I was going through hard times, Aunty Sharon and Uncle David gave me some really good advice. Aunty Sharon was one that genuinely cared for her family, and she really stepped up to the mark in terms of her advice and her love for each and every one of. I will miss Auntie a lot, a heck of a lot. But I just want to express my love to the Evanses, to Uncle David. He was a great uncle ever since I was growing up. Aunty Sharon's legacy for me was her activity in the church and the temple work that she did for her loved ones, and I followed a lot of her advice. I mean, I used to talk a lot about the family names, the Seymours, Todimas. So it was a really good journey, so I'll carry that on. But more importantly, I'll miss you, Auntie, and I love you very much. And Uncle David, you're a great uncle.
To my Aunty Sharon, my most special memories of my auntie as a child up at Nanny and Granddad's house in Nuhaka, when all of my cousins and I were up there, and Auntie would come visit, and she just brought a calmness with her. She was so soothing in everything she did, and she brought a huge amount of love and warmth. That was so special about her as a person. Even when she was telling us off, when my brother and Richard would do things wrong, she still managed to do this in a soothing manner. To my Uncle David and to my amazing cousins, you've been so blessed to have Auntie in your lives throughout. What an amazing wife, mother and nan you've had. I see and feel your pain, and I can only say I'm so very, very sorry for your loss. Loved you all.
Hi family, my Aunty Sharon. I was reflecting a lot from when I was a little girl and how I got to spend so much time with Auntie and Uncle before all the babies started coming. I was fortunate enough as a little girl to witness Auntie and Uncle dancing in the kitchen, Auntie with her long hair, Uncle with his long hair, and his little short shorts that he used to wear from rugby league. And I just remember Uncle tickling Auntie and her giggling so much, and she was so happy. That's one of my first memories that I can recall, and I was little. Aunty Sharon's been a huge influence in my life. As I reflect even more, I can understand the type of person that Aunty was. When I was a teenager, of course, we didn't all make good decisions. Maria and I decided one day that we would take off and go and have breakfast with Aunty Sharon and Uncle David. I knew that Uncle David would be at work, but we knew that Aunty Sharon was at home. And so we thought, yeah, we're going to go. So instead of going to school as we should, church college, we decided that we would go to Auckland instead. So we drove to Auckland. Maria didn't have a license. I didn't have a license. But we thought, what the heck, we're just going to go have breakfast with Auntie and then we'll come on back by the end of school. So Mum and Dad wouldn't know. Anyway, we rock on up to Aunty Sharon's and Uncle David's and knock on the door, and Maria walks through and I walk through. Auntie, what's for breakfast? And Auntie, the first thing she says is, I'm so sorry, kids. I can't back you up. And we're like, what? And then we looked at the table and Mum and Dad were sitting at the table having breakfast with Auntie already. So yeah, we got into trouble for that one. But Auntie had our back. She was like, it's better that they came to me and not anywhere else. So she was right. Other instances that I've been recalling with Auntie throughout my life have been so many. Another one that was really significant for me growing up was, Auntie was there for us as a child, then again in high school, and then again when I went to church, whaea, Hawaii. Auntie was there for us as a child, then again in high school, and then again when I went to church, whaea, Hawaii. While in Hawaii, I think I had been there about a year, maybe a little bit more than a year. And I was feeling not homesick, but family sick. Now, all of you know that. When we all get together and everybody's getting together and you're not part of it, you feel you want to be there. And so that's what I was actually feeling at the time. And it was so lovely because Aunty Sharon, Dean, allies, baby Shan all showed up. And Maria. So for me, that was so special because I was at a time where I was truly homesick, anchoring for family, needed family, and then they showed up in Hawaii. One of the best weeks that I've had. I missed classes, I missed work, but that's okay. I still had it the following week. And because of that, I know that my auntie was in tune with me and that she knew what I needed, so she gave it to me. Meeting Sean. And then when Sean and I got together, Auntie was the first one that found out about Sean and I. She knew, she called me to ask me who I was dating and then asked me if I was engaged. And she was the first one to know before Mum and Dad. Uncle Wayne was the second one because he came to visit and we had just gotten engaged. And then Mum and Dad found out after it. So yeah, see, she was very, very important in my life. And then today, looking at Auntie and the way in which she's raised all of her children, her grandchildren, the way in which she loves each of you. So there's attributes there that I've tried to mimic. Not real good at it, but it takes time and practice. Being a good mummy, being patient with my children, being patient with my husband, being patient with my siblings. This was all me learning from Auntie. Understanding how to put the Lord first in everything so that everything else will fall into place. A lot of trust, a lot of faith that was shared by Auntie's example. And I've been fortunate enough and privileged enough to have that wonderful experience and that wonderful person in my life to help guide me when I needed guidance.
Hey guys, just wanted to send through a quick message through to you all. Very sad to hear the passing of my auntie a couple of days ago. Very, very sad. Obviously, Aunty Sharon is a very, very special person to me. She always had the ability to sort of make you feel like you were the favourite one. Sort of, just gave you time, and it felt like you were the sort of the centre of attention, I suppose, when you're with her. I'm certainly glad that I managed to make it up to Hamilton a few months back and spend a bit of time there with Aunty Sharon. It was only obviously about 3 or 4 hours, but it's certainly time that I certainly cherish and will remember. Aunty Sharon she obviously loved her family to bits, loved her history, and loved her home place back in Nuhaka. And she always had the ability to sort of share a story which sort of captivated me. I could always listen to her stories for a while. She sort of had, I don't know, as we get older, we enjoy the history more, but she certainly had a way of telling stories that were very, very interesting. I suppose thinking back, when I was younger, I spent a bit of time in Hamilton, went up there on holidays and spent a time with Aunty Sharon, Uncle David, and obviously the bossy female cousins. To then obviously spending time at Nanny's house, seen her in Auckland when they're living up there, and obviously had some great times and memories at reunions over the years back in Nuhaka, and I think back in Wellington as well in the early piece. I suppose all those memories, Aunty Sharon always seemed to have the way to sort of give you time, and she had that sort of calming aura about her that sort of, I don't know, just sort of made you feel special, but also her words just sort of meant a lot. And I suppose that sort of rings well, because in recent times we lost one of our kids, and she was one of the first ones on the phone when our son Jesse passed, and just sort of, I don't know, just giving wise words and messages and support, which at the time, we needed it. It was certainly a very, very rough time. I don't know, but overall, Uncle David and my cousins, thinking of you guys a special time. Sorry we couldn't be there, but certainly will always love and miss my auntie, and although she will never ever be forgotten. Love to you all, guys.
Hi, Uncle David and family. I just wanted to say to you all that I'm thinking of you and I'm sending you so much love. I know that you'll really be hurting at this present time, David, but I hope that you will take comfort with the love and having all your family surrounding you. It's such a very hard time, I know. I'm really glad that end of last year, Brent, Beck and myself got to go and spend a few hours with Aunty Sharon, which I know it meant the world to Brent, which was, was so good for Brent, and I'm sure for Aunty Sharon as well. I know she's had lots of visitors. And I also just wanted to say, after Jessie passed, which wasn't that long ago, she sent me a message. I put a story on Facebook, and she said to me, the first person I'm going to find when I get there is Jesse. I'll be looking for him and I'm going to give him a big hug, and I'm sure she probably will. And that was such a beautiful thing, just shows how lovely Sharon was. Anyway, I just hope that you take so much strength of being together and having so much love all around you. Lots of big hugs, love and kisses. Bye.
Hi family, just a message from me all the way in Abu Dhabi, from me and my family. We wish we were there to say goodbye to our Aunty Sharon, but unfortunately we won't be able to make it back. So I wanted to send this message, thanks Cousin Daryl for pulling this together, to let you all know that we love you all, we're thinking of you. Our love goes out to Uncle David and my Evans cousins at this time. I imagine that there will be lots of stories being told over the next few days, lots of laughs, lots of tears, and I wish I could be there. But what it does make me incredibly grateful for is the way we grew up, the closest that we share as a family, as cousins, and the love that we have for our aunts and uncles. I'm sure that Auntie is enjoying her reunion with her parents, her grandparents, my dad, Uncle Baldy, Uncle Sid, Auntie Arahia, Auntie Moana, and that she is happy and pain-free. So, love you cousins, and we'll be thinking of you over the next few days.